This week's episode of the Electric Samba Bus, we're going to show you how to install a level 2 charging station, an EVSE for our Chevy Volt. So the first thing you notice when you bring home a store-bought EV is that, well, you have to charge it. And the standard equipment takes forever. Level 1 charging takes about 20 hours to charge it. So you have to bring that down to a manageable 4 hours. And the only way to do that is to get a level 2 EVSE charging station installed in your garage. Commercially available units are great, except for two things. One, they're about $600. And two, they only charge at 7.5 kilowatts, which is great right now, but it doesn't leave you much room to improve when newer cars come up and they can charge quicker. Luckily, paying full price for a unit that will become obsolete in the next couple of years is not our only option. A quick Google search reveals a multitude on open source EVSE projects. From the most basic units using off-the-shelf components to the full-feature custom design units, they all share one thing in common. They'll allow you to play a more active role in the assembly and installation of your car's charging equipment, which is very satisfying. If you've been following my Electric Samba Bus project, you'll know that I've decided to use several open source products. Both my instrumentation and my charger are from a company here in California called Electric Motorwork. The reason I've chosen to buy from them is because their feature to price ratio is off the charts. Every single one of their products is open source, which allows you to keep making the product better, and it will not become obsolete as quickly as the store-bought items. Plus, not to mention, they're an American company manufacturing products here in the good old US of A. The assembly process of this EVSE is pretty straightforward. It'll require some basic tools and some basic knowledge of soldering and just assembly in general. Valerie has even have a real-time video tutorial on how to put it together. The base edition of this EVSE, which is the one I chose, sells for only $149. But you do have to purchase both the input and the output cables, which sell for around $150. I was lucky enough to find a used J1772 plug on eBay for $129, and that's the one that I will be using. Okay, so here's our EVSE. It's nice and completed. It's all put together. It's got the input cable, it's got the output cable. The only thing left for us to do is to drill a couple of holes through the center here and then install it in the wall. I'm just gonna drill a couple of holes, put through screws through the wood stud, and it's gonna stay there because it's gonna be kind of a permanent installation. So let's do this. Just somewhere in the middle. It's not even that critical where the hole goes, you know, it's just somewhere in the middle. So the unit, here's the plug that I'm gonna use to charge this thing. I'm thinking about putting it here since there's a drywall, a wood stud is running through this wall here. So I wanna make sure that I put those screws right on that, because if you just screw it onto drywall, the panel box, the electrical panel box is right behind here, so you don't want to screw in there. But if it wasn't, you don't want to screw directly into drywall without having some kind of anchor in there so that so you can hold some of the weight. This thing doesn't weigh a lot, but it might get yanked out and stuff through, you know, while you're connecting it to the car. So we're gonna do it right on directly on this stud. And you just gotta make sure that you have enough. Yeah, perfect. There we go. I think I found 2.5 inch drywall screws. So the 1 1/4 were too small, so let's try this 2 1/2. Take that one out. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, that's pretty solid in there. So I'm gonna plug it in. The 60 amp breakers that I had installed on this circuit are off right now. So I will go on the other side and turn them on. All right, so it did like a little thing in there. It clicked once. Don't really know why, but it did. The power supply is on. I can see the LED. You don't want to touch any of this stuff. This is live right now. This is, that's 240 volts right there. So, okay. So we don't have our Chevy Volt here, and I can't really test it with my Samba because it doesn't have a charger right now. And even if it did, I don't have a plugged in there to be able to plug it in there. So now we're gonna disconnect it and then cover it up. Last thing to do is to put this little sticker on there. Make sure you put it straight. So I also bought this little holder from eBay for like 20 bucks or whatever. It's just a plastic thing that you can, so you don't leave this just hanging out, somewhere. You could also just use that. Again, probably gonna end up putting it right here since this is the stud and I wanted to kind of grab something solid. Here's the plug. That concludes our installation of our EVSE. It's 240 volts, level 2 charging. 60 amps, that equals 15 kilowatts. Of course, our car only charges at 3.3 kilowatts at this moment, but the cool thing about having this is that it's ready for the next generation of cars that will do up to 7 kilowatts, 10 kilowatts, all the way up to 15 kilowatts. That's for the next few years as the cars keep getting better and better. This unit is, we're good. We're good up to 15 kilowatts. So there we go. Now the next thing is just to test it out with their Chevy Volt. Eventually, everything tested out good, so total success. Also, our brand new license plates just showed up in the mail, so I installed them. I also installed that HP EVSE license plate frame. Doesn't it look good? That's what I think of the old one. We almost lost our wheel right here. Folks, if you enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join the conversation down below by leaving a comment. If you don't, then also leave me a comment so I can make these videos better. Thank you.